In this video, Multi-Retro Man says, is it worth buying a second-hand Hudl 2 that was originally made by Tesco's?
Multi-Retro Man presents.
Greeting viewers, right, should you buy one of these or Hudl 2? This is what it is, Hudl 2. Now, I bought this when it first came out, £120. I got some Tesco gift card voucher, about 60 or whatever it was. So I've had it from new. You know, one of the problems with it, well, if you like, one of the issues, is that if you leave it for quite a long time, it takes ages to load back up again, you know, to get the power to it, loading it up. However, I'm going to show you it loading up now, booting up. One of the questions, though, is if you can get one off an eBay, is it worth getting? Well, it depends. I shall give you a quick rundown on the specs of it, and I'll let you decide for yourself. Okay, so it's basically, I think it's an 8.2 or 8.3 inch screen with a 1080p screen resolution, which is really good for a tablet, you know, for this size of screen. And it's quite an old one now, which was a Tesco only one, and Tesco stopped supporting it. Okay, now the other thing it's got as well, which you can see on the back, it's got these two little things here. These are the speakers, so it actually stereo sound as well, which is really good. You know, stereo sound is superb. You know, it's really nice. The actual quality of the sound, though, yeah, it's quite, you know, you can have it sort of quite echoey surround type of sound. It's not bassy, but then again, it's only a tablet, so you don't expect it to be like really, really good sound anyway. But it does the job, you know, for what it is. It does the job. The other thing is it's got a nice feel to it as well, so it's not slidey. You know, you can hold it quite like that. Now, to go to the negative parts, one, it's a little bit slow. I mean, as you can see, this is just loading up. You know, and it's taking what, approximately about maybe 1.5 minutes to load up, which, grand scheme of things, it's quite a lot considering there's not actually a lot to it. It's got 16 gigabytes of storage. It has actually got a HDMI output on there as well somewhere, I believe. Yeah, on that side there. That's it. It says I'm sure it's HDMI. Yeah. So the HDMI output, memory card slot that you can put your own memory card in, and there is no doubt that the pictures look really, really good on it. You know, like quality of screen, the images. I'm getting any photographs, so I'll just have a look. I'll just show you on here so you can see when I find out. Because that's one other thing, obviously, it's Google anyway, you know, Android, so you've got Google Photographs, stuff like that. So this is a picture that I took of the guinea pigs. My guinea pig yesterday. Okay, so you can see the screen's quite nice. Viewing angles are pretty good as well when you look at it. You know, it's not as bad as some of the old laptops. You know, the Windows laptops. Like I say, it's because there's no physical buttons. You get little things like this on it at the bottom. So it's like little arrows. It's going back. Previous things. You know, stuff like that. So that respect, it's good. It works. But should you get one second hand? Well, that depends. If the seller says it's been reset, don't buy it. And the reason is, Tesco's turned the servers off to the Hudl and the Hudl 2. Okay, now you may think, well, what's that got to do with it? And I wondered as well, to be honest. But what it apparently does is that when you've got this Hudl, it sounds, from what I can gather, it seems that it connects onto the Tesco servers to say that this is active. You know, it's an active Hudl. Now, why it does it, I'm not sure. And from what I've read on the forums, you can load the thing up, and it'll go so far. You can have an option of picking the Wi-Fi setting. It connects to the Wi-Fi. So, and then it goes so far, but because the Tesco servers have turned off, you're stuck. You can't go any further than that. You know, so if you get it to stage like this, and you can do, you know, you can probably. I'm not sure if you'd allow you to sort of like log off Google and then back on again. I think it should do. Shouldn't be a problem. It's only if they said to completely wipe it afresh and do a full reset of this device. That's when you're going to run into problems. from what I can gather as well, Tesco's are now, well, it's not supported by Tesco's anyway now. So essentially, if you do choose the option to reset it, you end up with a brick, basically, because it won't load up, it won't do anything at all. Now, regarding other things, now web browsing, like I like to think, like looking at PDF files on websites like this, like the Spectrum things. I like the Spectrum games, emulators, that type of stuff. I like looking at the old magazines like Sinclair User, Crash magazine, and even the other ones like Amiga format, that type of thing. The problem you've got when you look on the sites on here, you sort of zoom in, like if you imagine that's your screen there. So you get to things like that, and if obviously the text quite small, so when you zoom in, it immediately jumps to the top of the page. So the page ends up down there. So you think, oh, I'll scroll up. So when you go scroll up, because you've tapped on that side of the screen, it flips the page. Now, if you download it as a PDF file, that's probably going to work even better, But because it's only got 16 gigabytes of internal storage, you really do need an external SD card to do it. So if you can do that, great. Now, I've not put an SD card in this yet because I'm not trying it or anything, but there's things like games on there, which one I'll show you here, Carmageddon. Now, this was an old favourite of mine ages ago. I used to love it when it loads up, if it loads up. There we go. So it's loading up now. And like I said, the problem is, or one of the downsides is it is quite slow with loading things up, so it's not like newer stuff is. However, it works, it works. So the positives on it, 1080p screen, which is really nice to look at, good quality. The reds aren't as sharp or vibrant as, like, say, a Samsung, but then again, it is an old screen. Stereo sound, also very good. Another thing, it's Android. Now, regarding Android, it only updates to version 5.1. I'm sure it's 5.1. Why? Because Tesco's were going to carry on supporting it and updating it, etc., etc. But then they decided, because they'd had that many problems with it, they stopped. And that's another thing which I'm going to get onto here. What you find is that a lot of these screens broke. And the reason being, just feel at this part here, there is where the processor is. Okay? Now, it's very, very tight against the background, which is rubber. So it gets really hot, especially when you're playing games. It does get really hot. And what people have been saying is that round this part on the screen, which is directly in front of where the processor is, the screen just goes and it cracks. So you get like a little circle thing with all the little spikes going from the side. Now, Tesco's themselves, they said it was people dropping it or whatever, so they were blaming the customers. No, it was not the customers at all. It was the fact that this was overheating too much. And I know this for a fact because on mine, obviously I try and keep it, keep my fingers away from that part to keep it as cool as possible anyway. But knowing how hot it gets compared to the other thing, compared to other tablets that we've used more recently, that I can't see why it wouldn't be that, because it's in exactly the same place as it's always been for all the other ones that I've seen that are broken. So there's a lot of these about with broken screens. So you could buy one second hand. Is there any point if it's like got a broken screen or anything? Probably not, because you're going to have to reinstall it from scratch. If it's already at this part where you've got the game or on the actual thing, it might be worthwhile. Now, I'm just going to do a quick gameplay on here. Now, I'm not going to bother with intros or anything. Let's just get straight into the game. So we know what we're doing. And you can see on here, this is actually showing how it loads up, how quick it loads up. That's very quick. So like loading the things up, it's not so bad. Now you've got the steering things on here, tell you what to do. So regarding the actual gameplay itself, it's really smooth. To what it is. Obviously, I don't condone anybody doing this in real life, obviously, because it's a game. It's just a game, everybody. It's just a game. Now, I got this one, they're doing a Kickstarter and redoing Carmageddon and the new games, but we'll not go into that too much. Okay. So that plays quite nicely. Smooth. Now, cameras. Is there any point in talking about the camera on it? I will do, if you want to. But, I mean, it's got, you can see on there, it's got, that's the front-facing camera, which, you know, it's going to look very strange on there anyway. So, the actual resolution of the front screen, I'll take a photograph and show you. It's not very good at all, very grainy. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but it is very grainy. There's no detail to it at all. It's not very good. But you don't really buy a tablet for the camera. You know, okay, you can do it for, you know, well, Skype, that type of thing, I suppose. However, right, let's change. See if we can change the other camera. Where were we? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I've just managed to get it so it's showing the other camera. So take a photograph like that. So it takes quite a while to do, you know. So if you're pressing it and something happens, like they're running away, you're probably going to miss the stop shot because it's slow. But again, it's just a tablet. You know, it's not a camera, it's not a phone, it's a tablet. It's an old tablet running Android 5. Now, we've got the resolution of it. Okay, the quality, as you might expect, is not brilliant. You know, it's quite grainy in areas. It's not brilliant. But if you're wanting something for your kids or all like that, it might be alright. Would I recommend it? A bit difficult to say. Depends on how much you can get it for. If you could get it for say between 10 and £15, it's a nice little tablet. It's worthwhile doing. But with the heat issues, and also you really need a proper original charger for it as well, which is quite an important thing. You know, I mean, you might be able to use other chargers with it anyway, but I always say it's always best to get the original chargers. Now, the only thing is, if you look on it's about Amazon, that type of thing, you look about £12 for the charger, maybe £10, £12. So in that respect, you'll think, well, is it worth it? Well, the screen, like I said, the screen is brilliant. There's a lovely screen on it. You know, it's got lovely definition, 1080p. There's a lot to recommend it. But like I said, the biggest issue that I have with the thing, or struggling to recommend it, is if it's been reset, because like I say, you'll not be able to use it anyway. So if they can show you it working, and if they say they've got to reset it, say to them, no, I don't want it resetting, I want it leaving as it is. By all means, take yourself off the Google thing and everything else, delete all the pictures or anything else. But if they say, no, I need to reset it, you tell them, no, don't reset it, because it will, you know, if they then insist on it, walk away, because if they start doing that, then they'll do it themselves, they'll essentially break it themselves, and it's pointless buying it. So, regarding other ones now, well, yeah, you can, or second hand, you can buy iPad Air Pros, or iPad Air Pro 2s, sorry, not iPad Air, iPad Air 2s, and they're fantastic, they're massive, screen on them's amazing, they are really good, but it depends what you want. Now, if you want an Android, forget it. Apple products stick to their own. They have their own Apple, you know, their own system. If you're wanting something like this, it's, you know, okay. If you get one for £10, it doesn't work properly. It's not a lot of money, is it really? £10, but if you can get one for £10, it's working. Then it's a nice little thing to play with, you know, because like I said, stereo speakers. YouTube, you can watch things like YouTube on it and stuff. Let me have a look, show you on mine. My channel. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now this is what I did. Regarding certain stuff. If you can see that or hear it. He's 17. Again, this is the age, isn't it? And I'll put you to, because say all the other videos that I've done various other videos. Where are we? Dum 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 dum. So here we go. Now this is another one. I don't know if you can see it very well. This is one of my videos I did, which was regarding, you know, playing a game called Repton. Now this is obviously for Commodore 64 emulator. This is what I do on my laptop. Okay. Now listening to it in stereo is quite amazing because, you know, it does actually add a lot to the sound. Because like I say, my phone and everything else, I've only mono because I've got an S7 Edge, which I'm recording this on. You know, so I would say that if you can get a working one, you know, by all means go for it, because they are still nice little tablets. Security wise though, it depends on kind of what you think about security regarding Android 5. You know, so it does say on a lot of the Google things that it might not be optimized for your device, the actual updates, that type of thing. But they will update. You know, you can't have too many apps on here because, like I say, it's only got 16 gigabytes of storage. But on the whole, it's a nice little machine. You know, Spectrum thing here. That's what the Spectrum, one of the Spectrum emulator looks like on it. You know, so you got the keyboard. What's it doing there? Sorry, I wonder where the keyboard had gone. So yeah, if you wait that way, full screen keyboard, turn it that way, and you get that. And that, when you look at that, that looks beautiful. That looks really nice. The quality, if it'll actually focus, I'm not sure if it's going to focus anyway. But like I said, this part here, it looks absolutely amazing. It looks a proper Spectrum computer with the quality, you know, the quality and things like you've got your beep, ink, paper. And to me, it looks, I think I'll probably could start using this as a prop for the emulator stuff, you know. Battery life on it, well, the battery life's not too bad. You know, let me have a look, see if I can tell you on here what it's got now. 95%. So since I've started using this, doing all the other stuff, for booting up, so I turned it off last night at full thing, it's only used 5%. So, Android 5 though, it works, it does what I want. So, entirely up to you, it's your choice. But if they say they're going to reset, they need to reset it first. Like I said, I know I keep going on about it, but it is a majorly important thing. Same with the Hudl one. The Hudl one is exactly the same. If you can get a Hudl one cheap, you know, try it. See what you think. The Hudl 2 is a much better tablet. However, that part with the resetting is a big no-no. Thanks for watching this video. And what?
Did you tell them about the reset problem?
Yeah, I did. Quite a few times. Thanks very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because I'd like to do some live things at some point, and I need 1,000 subscribers, so that would be great. What do you think? Yes, I agree.